Back up a little bit.
Welcome to another rousing, not rounding, rousing. Damn it. I'm horrible.
Words, Blue, words.
Words, Polonius. Another rousing episode of the wonderful podcast that is this craziness that we call Cryptid Conversations. I'm your host, Brother Blue. Today's topic for discussion: Bigfoot sightings from 2024 and whether or not they're real, whether or not they're fake, and our opinions. So
we have them.
Yeah, we have opinions. Everybody's got opinions. So, as it stands to reason, we'll get right on that in a minute. But let's go ahead and open this up with a little bit of banter.
Witty banter?
Witty banter. Witty banter.
Witty banter.
I'm not too good at witty.
I'm okay at witty. I'm just an asshole that runs a podcast. Anyway, so how was everybody's week? We did all right.
I've been a busy bee.
As have I. Wonderful.
I got put on medication.
Oh, fun.
Apparently, I've got to go outside more.
No kidding. Really? You?
Yeah, apparently I have a very severe vitamin D deficiency.
Yeah, it's because you hide in your flat and you don't go anywhere. Michelle, you do the same thing. Be quiet. We know you're vitamin D deficient.
I have vitamin D deficiency.
I don't do people.
Not that type of D. Anyway, getting into it. Bigfoot sightings 2024. There are quite a few. And by a few, I mean very little.
Yeah.
We're going to start, you know what? We're going to start off. We're going to go round. We're going to go with Torsten. Torsten, what do we got?
Well, surprisingly for me, during my research, because I thought I'd have to get hold of an American sighting of the hide-and-seek champion of the world, but no, I found a story about a sighting of Bigfoot here in the UK. In March of 2024, down on our west coast in the county of Devon, which is right down there. It's our version of sort of Alabama area. They talk funny. They're a little bit strange. It's pixie country.
Makes sense.
Also the same county that has Stonehenge in it. Just for a little bit of fact.
I love the Stonehenge.
A group of walkers were convinced that they found evidence of Bigfoot when they were on a walk in a scenic part of Devon, where they found large footprints that were, as they described it, a men's size 11 plus half in size. That came out of the woods went about 20 feet, and then back into the woods. And it's not an area that is frequented by many people. And it was barefoot, no signs of any shoes or Wellingtons or boots or any of the such.
That's sad because beef Wellington is so good. Anyway.
Yes, beef Wellington is very, very nice.
I don't like mushrooms. It's got mushrooms in it, doesn't it? Like the outside.
Yes.
Yes,
Mushrooms
it's a
are
mushroom
delicious.
sauce.
Mushrooms are the devil. They were sent to this
No.
earth by Satan himself.
Okay.
If there were a Satan.
If you say so.
They were. This appeared on a little town called Torquay. It's a coastal path called Maidencombe, and this sighting took place on the 2nd of March last year.
Okay.
Now, there have not been many sightings of Bigfoot, and people are wondering if the sightings are true. How the hell did he get from North America to the southwest coast of the UK? Because that's a hell of a long swim.
Hey, listen, have you seen the size of these guys? I mean, they can make it.
Not really if you look at the map. Because if you go up through Canada, you can go, take a left and go over it to Russia because you can see it from Sarah Palin's house. Or you can go up and go through red, white, and blue land, red, white, and blue land, and Iceland, and come down that way. That's probably the faster way.
Or just go
but
right
that's still
freezing cold.
Yeah, it's either a very long swim or a very long walk.
Either way, he's going to have to get wet eventually.
Well, you know what?
Yeah.
If he is who he is, if we're talking about Bigfoot here, then we're talking about someone who's got the ability to hide for multi hundreds of years. If they're smart enough to hide for a long time, they're smart enough to make a boat. Come here,
well, he could technically get to the UK from America without actually touching water. If he timed it right. If he got to Alaska in the middle of winter.
Also, you
Bering Strait,
him showing as green.
And across.
So
yeah, but here's the thing. Okay.
Scales.
You're also talking about the country that believes, that there was trolls, all that happy jargon. It may not be Bigfoot. It may just be a troll or something.
Oh, Troll Hunter. Good movie. Sorry.
What? Troll Hunter?
Yeah.
Along with
very good movie.
That
I have a movie.
Along with that sighting, 2 years previous, in the same county, but up the north of it, there were also reports of a Littlefoot.
A Littlefoot.
Okay. Not to be before time.
Not to be, not to be confused with the.
Kind of,
okay, go ahead.
That we're seeing in the North Devon, Devonshire woodlands, and it was cited by the director of North Devon Centre for 14 Zoology.
So the sighting was by someone who was a well thought of, educated, non-special human.
Yes.
All humans are special ever since we picked up a stick and said, I poke you. Anyway.
But he was saying that the Littlefoot sighting has much more credibility to it, because there is more credible corroboration to it, with the gentleman citing it first being a respected zoologist.
And yet, people like Dr. Jeff Meldrum get discredited all the time.
Oh, Dr. Jeff.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good one, though.
That's what I got.
I think the idea of sightings, I guess, like, to be honest, like, you have to be there. Like, what is it that you see? Is your mind playing tricks on you? There's that, I'm going to be the voice of alternate theories today. I'm going to be that
Sounds
sayer.
good.
Like, pareidolia. Are you familiar with the word pareidolia?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
It's when you see
All right.
human
Your brain
features
sees
in.
what it sees. So if you're looking at shadows outside your door and you see the shadows, and your brain will make something out of it that's not there.
Mhm.
It's the same thing when you look at pictures, the Rorschach pictures where it's ink spots. Your brain's going to see what your brain sees. So if you're not, if you don't know what it is, your brain's going to make up something, because your brain always wants to have a definite. So pareidolia is going to put whatever you think you see and go, yep, that's what it is.
Yeah, your brain tries to make sense of it.
Mm-hmm. So I'm not saying, he didn't see it, but he saw something. Obviously he saw something. But unless there were others to corroborate, or photographs that were taken that can be peer reviewed, it's still anecdotal. But it's a good story, though. Like, I absolutely, like, I read that one too. So
It's the thing that I've always found is, especially in the most recent years, I'd say over the past 5-10 years, is how the hell we haven't got a clear photo with camera technology.
Especially nowadays, because with the way everything's 1080p, everything's 4K now, and but the thing is like, some things are so far away that even if you zoom in, you're not filming in 4K anymore. It pixelates so that way it can get the picture somewhat recognizable. I mean, I tried taking a picture of a red-tailed hawk that was in a tree, and as soon as I zoomed in, I lost it. I couldn't see the dang thing.
Even with like camera phones, if you got a decent one, and I'm gonna upset the Michelle here, not an iPhone, a Android.
I'm sorry, that was an accident.
You can get a good, well-defined picture
if you say
of
the
the moon.
it is absolutely false. Google it. It is
It's
not
not.
true. Every picture that everyone takes from their Android phone of a close-up of the moon is the exact same photo that's fed into it by Android. It is not a picture of the moon.
I am telling you it is, because I have done it myself.
Yes, of course you've done it, but your phone is programmed to do it. It's proven. I have science.
Okay.
It's not a real picture of the moon.
This is my best moon picture.
Let's breathe.
And that's accurate. That's accurate. So yeah,
Yes.
I digress.
Anyway,
I did find, so this weekend I was was it yesterday? Yes, yesterday. I was flipping through channels and I ended up on an episode of Monster Quest.
Monster Quest, great show.
Season 3, episode 8.
Mm-hmm.
for clarification.
I
There
know
were
it well.
two specific recent Bigfoot sightings. They're the Class A, so
Hmm.
more than one person saw it. Evidence was generated, but of course not photographic evidence of the thing itself. In
Yeah.
both cases, one was in North Carolina and one was in Minnesota.
Hmm.
The first case, the Bigfoot in Minnesota, was meandering across a side road in the middle of nowhere, and the girl is 10 o'clock at night going to her boyfriend's house, and Bigfoot just kind of like meanders in front of her car, and she sideswipes it. It rolls across the hood, got a big old handprint and a butt print on the side of the car, and then runs off. But the boyfriend, who is standing right there, grabs his shotgun and shoots at it.
Hmm.
So, the Monster Quest part of it, like the damage, like it was obvious that she hit something that was standing. It was
Hmm.
not a bear. The blood or whatever that was left on it was not able to be DNA sequenced against any known animal. But
Hmm.
the science of how it was there, it would have to have been 6 to 8 feet tall, and it would have to have been walking, and it would not have been wearing any clothes. So conjecture. And the second one was very similar, but the thing tore up the side of an F-150. Like,
I'll tell you,
either
Officer Shack's got to stop having those benders, man.
yeah. So the multiple people
It's a
saw it.
joke,
No
folks.
photos was taken. No photos were taken of the actual thing itself, but the review of the side of the truck, like, it would take tools to do such a thing, but a tool would not be able to leave tooth and scratch marks. And the tooth punctures in the side of the truck were too close to be a bear and too far away to be anything smaller than a bear, like a fox or any of those things. And none of the known animals in that region have the bite strength, pound for pound, to be able to bite through metal.
I mean, and then you also go into the whole: was it a Bigfoot? Was it a dog man? Was it was it this? Was it
Wood
that?
booger.
Wood booger, whatever you want to call it. But I
Mhm.
mean, in some of these encounters, I mean, the things where violent encounters occur. And this is my opinion, that they're done out of a sense to protect and or out of a sense of vengeance.
Yes.
And the reason why vehicles get smashed up a lot is probably because somebody's hit one multiple, people have hit these things supposedly like a million times. But eventually, I mean, you see it with bears too. Bears will go after cars. Dogs will go after cars. Animals go after vehicles if they've ever been injured by one, or they've known, or somebody they cared about has been injured or killed by a car. They develop a severe what's the word I'm looking for? A severe sense of justice to try and take these things down that have caused them pain. And in that respect, I mean, you see this a lot in animals. You see this a lot in people too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look how every time there's some sort of gun violence, everybody comes out of the woodwork. So like it's there's a lot of things that could be contributing factors to uh why these things become violent, why these things become. I mean, it could also be a territorial display of you're in their perceived territory.
So that thought leads me to one of the theories that's
Okay.
been posited about Bigfoot. It's the spirit or guardian of nature theory.
Mhm.
Native Americans, going as far back as 15,000 years, they all had the idea of the nature spirit who protects the nature. When you do something that is offensive to the earth, the nature spirit will take a little bit of retribution.
Mhm.
So whether that was Bigfoot or whatever they called it in whatever tribe they were in, but that nature spirit was a manifestation of nature itself. And that's why we can't really prove it. That's
Yeah.
why we can't find the evidence, is because it's real but not real.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
I mean, to a point it does,
hmm
and to a point it doesn't. I mean, you're talking about belief and you're talking about facts, and the two are very different.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
I mean, the facts don't give a damn about your feelings.
Right.
You know?
But here we are in the same spot where it is the age of everything is caught on video. I have 19
Yeah.
video cameras in and around my house. So there's not a whole lot of places that you can't stick a camera or a trail cam,
hmm
or nobody these days doesn't have a camera in their back pocket.
True.
So the fact that we've gone from a time where there were
Yeah.
a lot of
Our
sightings and now there still are, but there's still no evidence.
yeah. Our wonderful head of the mod squad
Moderator.
down there, the moderator extraordinaire, brings up there was a lot more sightings in the Pacific Northwest when wildfires are
Mhm.
going on.
Yes, agreed.
And this has happened multiple times where you see a spike in Bigfoot sightings during times of wildfires, and this is attributed to they're trying to flee, they're trying to get away. I mean, you see an increase in sightings of other animals as well during wildfires. I mean, animals you don't normally see. So I mean, it begs the question of, are we seeing what we're seeing, or are we seeing something we want to see?
Mass hysteria.
Uh, yeah, a collective dream, as it were.
Mhm.
Jasper, what do you got for us?
I've got a story from a gentleman named Andrew Baum.
Okay.
Andrew Baum said he spent much of his life in the outdoors. He had never seen anything like the creature he saw on December 28th in a Washington Township field. The 35-year-old Mansfield man, perched in a 17-foot high tree stand, believes he saw Bigfoot walking purposefully and quickly across an open field about 1,000 feet from his position. It was taking real long strides. His head was kind of down, moving down the hill. It had a big head. I lost it when he walked into the tree line, the Mansfield native told the Richland source.
Mm-hmm.
It's the third such area local sighting reported to Matt Moneymaker's Bigfoot Field Researchers organization since 2021, with the previous two coming in Ashland County. Those encounters, coupled with a 2022 Bigfoot Base Camp weekend at Pleasant Hill Lake Park in Perrysville, have made north central Ohio more of a hotbed for Sasquatch sightings. Baum, who was in the woods late in the afternoon with his stepfather to build the tree stand. Sorry, the alarm startled me.
Yeah.
Baum, who was in the woods late in the afternoon with his stepfather to build the tree stand for future hunting use, said he immediately knew what he was seeing. Though it was late in the afternoon, it had been a bright sunny day, he said. In other words, the visibility was excellent in the area near Hanley and Woodville roads, just east of I-71, especially with no leaves on the trees. I know every animal. It was not a bear. It was not a monkey. It was black or even brown in color. I was shocked. A Bigfoot is not something that just pops up into your head,
Mm-hmm.
he said. It took him took me a moment to focus my eyes, then I knew. It was too big and moving too fast. A man would have to be running at full speed to cross that field that quickly, Baum said. After losing sight of the animal, Baum climbed down from the tree stand and rejoined his stepfather. He told his stepfather about what he had seen, but by the time the older man climbed into the tree stand, the area was littered with signs of deer. Sorry, it seems the story cut off there. But it was on by the time the older man climbed. I was reading it wrong. That's my bad. The area was littered with signs of deer. In the past, Moneymaker has said Sasquatch tend to follow deer trails. When I got back down, I couldn't believe it. I was kind of shocked. I wasn't scared. I told my stepfather, and he was like, "Man, that's crazy." But we had to get out of there. It was getting dark early. We finished what we were doing, and we left. I kept looking over my shoulder, Baum said. I was thinking about it the whole way home. I knew I had to report it to BFRO. There are a lot of people doing the research on Bigfoot, and I want to help, he said. He filed his report with BFRO website and was interviewed over the phone by Moneymaker on December 31st. BFRO dispatched investigator Brian Diamond from, I'm going to butcher this, Ashtabula County to check it out. Diamond talked to Baum and also checked out the sighting scene. He described the area where Baum reported seeing the Bigfoot as not conducive to clear footprints. He and Baum and his stepfather went to the site on January 2nd, but Diamond said it was overcast day with light blowing snow. It was difficult to replicate the view the witness had on 12/28, Diamond said. Still, despite a lack of physical evidence, Diamond believed the report credible. He said, "My impression of Andrew is that he is very earnest and credible, as was his stepfather, who did not see the subject." The investigator described the area as an excellent place to hunt deer. It's not a great picture, but this is essentially what they had for where they were and what they saw.
Mm-hmm.
Moneymaker concurred, rating this sighting as a Class A, the highest his website awards. We concluded that he is credible and the report was legitimate. Moneymaker said, "The question in the case is whether or not the misinterpretation, especially whether it was human walking across the field rather than a Sasquatch." Moneymaker said the speed Baum observed the creature moving helped convince him. That is the distinguishing feature of what a Sasquatch will look like from a distance. Not only will it be big and dark, but it will cover much more ground more quickly than a human, he said. The speed at the speed at which the figure crossed the field eliminates the possibility of a human, in my opinion, as well. Even if the dark bipedal figure was 1,000 feet away, so that for texture won't be as clearly visible, it is still Class A sighting rather than Class B, which is a possible sighting, but less certain than a Class A because all other reasonable alternatives have been eliminated, Moneymaker said.
Well, Matt Moneymaker says it's one thing, then then you can be sure it's probably another.
Changing my name.
I hate Matt Moneymaker.
I'm gonna be Michelle Moneymaker from now on.
I mean, personally, I just don't like the guy. He's in it for the notoriety and the fame and everything like that. He's not in it for actual science. He wants to be the name on Bigfoot now, and I can't stand the man. Even the BFRO as a whole, I have big issue with their
All
criteria.
Organizations they're subject to the people who are in them. So
yeah, and their criteria for what constitutes a sighting, what constitutes a Class A, B, C, whatever the hell they are. Honestly, I can't stand them. But
how do I say this without saying it in a bad way? There are some people who create the circumstances for a sighting just for the recognition and the platitudes of having a sighting, only to come out very quietly months, years later and say, yeah, I totally faked that shit.
So clout chaser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was one recently, what was it, September 2024, or somewhere in that time frame, July, August, September, in Wintergreen, Virginia,
Mm-hmm.
where there was like photographic Sasquatch, and like it was all over the news for like months, and then a very, very, very small newspaper published 3 months later, yeah, that was a hoax. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, I mean,
That didn't make, like, everybody still talks about the wintergreen Sasquatch, but like they already said they faked it.
yeah, and that's like, you see these photos lately that are popping up, and it's quite obviously that it's a person in a costume.
Mm.
The body just doesn't look right. The fur looks all like it looks fabricated. I mean, there's a lot of sightings nowadays that are just BS because it's just people just trying to get their name out there and looking for their 15 minutes of fame.
Yeah.
I mean, not for nothing. I'd rather be, if I had the choice to be famous, which I doubt that'll ever happen, but that's me. Anyway, but if I had the choice, I'd rather be famous for something tangible and real than making something up. I mean, the person in your story there, Jasper, that witnessed the creature, I mean, sounds like it's legit, but 9 times out of 10, like I said, if Moneymaker's involved and his name is on it, I don't trust it. That's my own opinion.
That's fair.
Like I said, I've never been a fan of the guy. I've never been a fan of the BFRO. But there are some sightings worth looking into. So
I can't really say much on it because don't know too much about the BFRO and don't know this Moneymaker because Bigfoot isn't really a big thing over here.
Yeah.
We have sporadic
You got Nessie.
sightings.
That's all the cryptid you need, sir. That's
Yeah,
enough.
we've also got the kelpies. We got Nessie, we got the kelpies, we got
you
lots
don't
of
need
other
Sasquatch. Like, you're good.
We'll keep Sasquatch. You can keep Nessie.
Yeah.
So sort of like organizations and people that are around or have been around the search for Bigfoot, we don't over here we don't get that sort of information. It's not sort of common knowledge. It's something you have to really go deep diving into to find sort of any sort of information. Apart from as I say, the odd now and then you'll get somebody saying, "Yeah, I saw a Bigfoot," and it seems to be focused down in the west counties, the southwest counties, where they need to put down the bottles of the scrumpy.
I mean, let's put it this way. I'll say this: BFRO is really good at some things, and they're really horrible at other things. I mean, even their information that they display on their pages, there's a lot of inconsistencies with the way they present their information. I mean, I'm looking at a page right now. It says, let's see, report submitted by witness. I'm going to omit her name because she don't know us and I don't know her. On Sunday, November 10th, 2024. Night sighting by commuter on remote road 40 miles north of Bristol.
Yeah. Virginia.
Yeah. And it says year 2024, season fall, month November, date 8. Well, if it was submitted on the 10th, why are you putting it as day 8? I mean, that may have been the date that it occurred, but you need to be more consistent with your information. Saying sighting occurred on this date, but was submitted this date.
On, yeah.
Be a little bit more consistent with your information. Give people a little bit more detail, because in today's day and age, people want the details. You know, but that brings me into my case here. The location was on a well-traveled road that is near a coal mines entrance and has had a lot of current work done in the area. Nearest
You're
town,
talking- Yeah.
not
I know which.
not far. It says no very far from town. Not very far from town would have been the right way. Somebody
Yeah.
didn't do the proofreading. Nearest road, Page Road, and they put it as Page lowercase. Page is names of roads are usually capitalized here in the States.
Let's not judge their education.
Yes,
let's judge. Let's judge. Come
I'm
on.
gonna judge.
We're gonna judge.
Yeah.
This is the judgy episode.
Okay.
No,
I'm
see,
being
it's not.
judged.
It's not just in the United States. If you, for those
Yeah.
that have been over to the UK, if it's
Okay.
a name, it's capitalized.
Yeah,
All right.
capitalized.
Then it says observed. Now, I wouldn't have said observed. I would have said witnesses account. I saw this at around 2 to 2:30 a.m. I was running late for work. By the way, no comma after 2:30 a.m. Anyway, I was I was running late for work at the prison, and I was driving a bit faster than normal, as well as not having my bright lights on. I was turning onto a side road at the main gate of the coal mines. I drove less than a quarter mile from the coal mines when I saw a large, what I thought was a bear or feral cow beside the road. So I slowed down in case it spooked and ran across the road. That was when I noticed it was on 2 legs and was large, but was kneeling down. Okay, which was it? Was it on 2 legs or was it kneeling down?
I feel like they could have said bipedal but kneeling down to make it more make sense.
I think this is less about an inconsistency and more about a lack of a good description.
Yeah. Okay. It was kneeling down. It had, if I had to guess, I would say it was 500 to 600 pounds. This animal had shaggy fur that I could see the outline of from the lights.
Oh, I
Um,
wanted to rip apart that sentence so
it's
badly.
it's so horribly written.
The grammar is atrocious.
The grammar is fucking horrible. And yes, I just did say fucking horrible. Yes, it is horrible. It looked over what seemed to be its shoulder and had a human-like face with a heavy brow. It looked back through the brush and then looked quickly back again before stepping towards the creek and climbing down and went out of sight.
You're talking about Virginia, so call it a crick, sir.
All right. Sorry, it's a crick. The thing that made me stop in the road was it had a knee and was looking through the brush, holding it apart to look through.
So like peeking through.
It was on its knee looking through the brush on the side of the road.
All I heard was it had its knee, and I'm like, whose knee does it have? Does it eating a knee?
Oh, this is making my brain hurt.
Right?
I can't do this.
This is why I think the BFRO site is so fucking stupid.
They need an editor.
This is less about the sighting and more about the events that unfolded.
This is how I feel when I find mistakes on our company's customer facing.
Oh, it's horrible.
And I'm like, can someone in marketing fix this, please? I can't look at it anymore.
Okay, ready?
It's making my brain hurt.
Ready? Here we go.
I don't know
This
if I'm ready.
quote unquote animal had no eye shine. Okay, now here's the thing. A lot of sightings of Bigfoot and Sasquatch, they have eye shine. Their eyes evidently glow a red eye shine. Okay? Had no eye shine.
I don't like this.
Once I passed its location, I saw that it had been looking at 2 does.
2 what?
Does.
Does.
Female deers. Doe, a deer, a female deer. Ray. A drop of golden sun.
2 doe.
Where were these fucking deer?
Okay.
These deer were not mentioned in the beginning of this thing.
Okay.
Now, wait a minute. She said it was taking a knee and looking through the brush. How do you know it was taking a knee if it was in a bush?
All I'm thinking is Elmer Fudd right now. That's all I got.
All
I got.
I'm hunting rabbits.
This sounds like somebody is either smoked something or eaten something.
This sounds like
and is having a bad fucking trip.
It gets better.
Oh God, no.
I have no idea what it was doing, but definitely seemed like it was hunting. How the fuck do you know?
How do you know what it was doing? You don't know what it was doing.
Also
okay, I don't
noticed.
like this person.
Also noticed.
No, I'm
in
done.
that short time span. As stated above, there were 2 deer nearby that it appeared to be watching. Once it noticed the headlights of the car, it stepped down towards the creek bank, and laid flat out of sight. It didn't run or anything like that. It happened.
I just want you to know that I don't call it a crick, but my friend who is a boy calls
Oh my
it a
God.
crick, and now it's stuck in my head forever. Thanks.
It's driving me nuts here. Okay. Run. It didn't run or anything like it had happened before. What the fuck does that mean?
Probably trying to compare it to other stories where it had like run off into the brush, but in this case it went like flat down. But how could they see it go flat down? There's a bush.
Okay, it says other witnesses, 1 witness themselves.
Done.
Other stories. I've heard stories, but I've never spoken to anyone that has seen anything like this. Time and conditions, roughly 2 a.m. Very clear and bright night. Was cooler than the past few nights, which was what? Environment, wooded saddle of the mountain. Okay, whatever. I'm not even going to get into the environment of this, but it is pretty nice looking area. Hang on. Let me get down to where I wanted to get down to here. BFRO investigator Benjamin C. B has attended multiple BFRO expeditions. Who's B? North Georgia 2018, fall, Georgia 2019, spring, Tennessee 2020, fall, South Carolina 2021, spring, and Pennsylvania 2021, fall, Pennsylvania 2022, fall. He has also conducted private expeditions in New Jersey, Alaska, Arizona, North Carolina, and southern Georgia. He is all his area of responsibility as a BFRO investigator is central Pennsylvania. Okay, I'm going to say this about this guy who investigated this. You are the dumbest fucking person I've ever seen. Because number one, you can't write up a freaking incident report that looks and sounds like this. It reads like garbage. My 11-year-old autistic child can write better than this. Holy crap. This entire investigation looks like garbage, hot garbage, because none of the facts make sense. It was on two legs, but it was on its knee. Well, was it on two legs or was it on its knee? Well, it was looking through a bush. How did you see the knees if it was in a bush? And how do you know it went down into the creek and laid down
There's
like
a
it had
bush
done
in the
this
way.
before? If there's a bush in the damn way. And not for nothing, the deer would have been spooked by your headlights already. Like, this sighting makes no damn sense. And the person who had the sighting, bless her heart, she works at the prison. She, ready for this one? She's a freaking cook for the prison. She heads up there, feeding the prisoners and guards and everything like that. God bless you, she's doing God's work. But this sighting is horrible. Horrible. It's one of the worst sightings I've ever read. I wish I could not have this in my head.
I feel dumber.
You and me
Right?
both. And they considered that, ready for this one? They considered that a Class A sighting. I thought a Class A had to have multiple people.
Because eyewitness testimony is notoriously unreliable.
Yeah. You need multiple people for it to be classified as a Class A. But, hey, fuck me, right? What do I know? I'm just a fat, bald guy from New Jersey who fucking likes watching Sasquatch videos and learning everything he can. Anyway.
I see why you have a dislike for them.
I love Sasquatch. Don't get me wrong. I love cryptids. I am a cryptid guy. I love all of them. I think they're cool.
I mean the BFRO.
Oh yeah. No, but the people who investigate these things drive me up a fucking wall.
They sound like bloody morons that got like a second grade education.
So
Didn't learn grammar and punctuation.
As someone who is responsible,
I agree, Selena. Thank you. He could definitely write better. Holy fuck. Go ahead, Michelle. I'm sorry.
No.
Yeah,
if you're
we're
gonna
all
publish,
flabbergasted by this.
if you're gonna publish something, like, okay,
At
so
least proofread it.
I as a professional in my professional day job, I write parameters for updates to system updates. And it's like, as the user, I should be able to do A, B, and C. If my parameters aren't clear, concise, and well defined, the system is going to be not what I need. So the fact that you're putting this out there in the world on the internet, like, take 10 minutes and give someone a chance to peer review it for 10
You
minutes.
don't even need
also-
that. There is a free program called Grammarly.
But
It
there's
will
also a
proofread
free.
everything.
There's also something on every freaking electronic thing on the planet. It's called grammar check.
Literally.
And
Fuck.
figuratively. And figuratively. Yeah, I just have a problem with that. So just out of curiosity, I was on BFRO. Sorry.
BFRO.
And I went to my home state of Texas, into my city, to see if there were any sightings in the city that I grew up in, and there are two.
Oh, okay.
One from November of 1975 that's considered a Class A. And I quote, "A friend and I were at the back of my family's property, burning trash, playing in the creek, and I noticed something under a tree along the pasture line. My friend and myself saw what appeared to be something squatting down. Squatting. This thing was humane in appearance, but it was dark. It had fur, like long fur. And we watched it raise up its arm. And then it got scared and ran off. And then we went to my house. It looked like a huge monkey squatting down." There we go.
We are all literally dumber from hearing that.
It looked like a huge monkey squatting down.
Don't get me
A
wrong.
huge monkey squatting down.
These are my people.
Texans
These are
are-
Texans, okay? Like, this, no.
I swear I saw it was a huge monkey who
saw
was
it.
squatting down, and then he took off, and it looked like he had a hammer
No,
between his
no,
legs, and he
no.
just ran through the.
It's not I saw
Pasture.
it, because we were talking about Texas.
I
It's
saw
it. I saw
I
it.
saw it.
I saw it. Yeah.
Yeah, no more. Leave the site. Exactly. I think we need to
The
leave
people that-
BFRO. Okay, listen.
People that I've met from the state of Texas seem like really nice people.
Most of
Damn, some of them are thick
Thick
as
as
pig
fuck.
shit.
I was not born in Texas. I was born in California, raised in Texas, but I gave up my Texan persona many, many years ago because fuck that place. I digress.
Anyway.
So if we're voting for the winner, I vote for the three of us to be the winners, because we had to fucking sit through.
I vote for all of
reading
us
that
to be the
shit.
winners on this one, because these fucking things were horrible.
Yes. Okay.
Anyway.
We're all winners. We are
Sorry,
all
my
winners.
jersey's coming out, and I'm cussing every other word as F word out of my mouth right now. Okay, so next week, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to discuss something that's not more of a cryptid, but more of a legend.
Oh, legend.
More of a belief as well in the old days. Something very, very.
I need to know.
We are going to discuss the Fae.
Okay. I'm in.
What's this? Let's see. When I hear spell check, I think of. I can't even pronounce that. Oh, McGonagall correcting people's incantations. Yes, you're right. Yes, McGonagall. Yes.
So
great.
Wingardium
I
Leviosa.
need some. I
Anyway.
need some.
So we're going to talk about the Fae next week.
Okay. I need some
And
parameters, please. Are we
Huh?
talking about like traditional fae, like Persian? Are we talking about like the Greek fae, like the nymphs?
We're talking about all
the
types of
fae as a whole.
the fae as a whole,
So we could be talking about Celtic,
the
English, French,
varieties,
German,
all
Persian,
the different
Slavic,
varieties. Yeah,
any
Kate,
fae.
as Kate just said, the varieties of fae. Yes, the
Okay.
varieties of fae is what we're going to be discussing next week.
Okay.
And mind you, the fae aren't just fair and beautiful and amazing.
No,
They're
they're not.
also dark and scary.
Those are my favorite ones. The dark fairies.
I love dark fairies. Anyway, but my favorites are fox fairies. Anyway,
Wonder why that is. Hi,
what?
Kate.
Like
We
foxes.
love you. Hi, Kate. We love you. Ooh.
Exactly,
Don't-
Seth. We're a
don't-
bunch of us are definitely just evil. But okay, so next week we're going to be discussing the Fae in all
Oh.
their incarnations and all their different
Speaking of Seth, you see, you have me
strains.
saying crick, dude. You see
Crick,
that?
dude.
This is your fault. This is
Dude, you
your
missed the
fault.
whole thing about the crick. Anyway,
I-
go back and watch the last 20
Yeah,
minutes.
it's your fault. It's sweetheart. I swear you have broken my brain. This is your fault.
Anyway, with that being said, folks, we were going to take our leave. We will see you next weekend. Same bad time, same bad channel. Only here from the Legends Cave.
Can I dress up as a fairy next week?
Yes,
You do whatever you want.
I may join you. I'm not sure yet, but I might.
Okay.
Okay.
We got two people
on
who
it.
will dress up as fairies. Me and Torsten will just be the human people.
I'm going.
We'll be the
I've already got
translators.
ideas.
We'll be the translators of the face here.
I'll need to find my elf ears, but I'm not sure where I put them.
Yes,
Oh,
fae does not mean only fairies. It means
Mm.
elves. It means quite a lot of things, actually. But anyway,
Mm.
ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. We will catch you back here next week. Everybody say goodbye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. And if you can't be good, be bad. And if you're going to be bad, at least fucking be good at
I'm good at that.
it. Yeah, you are. Anyway, we'll catch you next week, everybody. Thank you for joining us here on Cryptid Conversations.